I just got back from watching Avatar Fire into Ash, and this movie was a hot mess. I'm going to be giving it a 3.5 out of 10. I think the last time I felt this way after watching a movie was Rise of Skywalker. This was such an incohesive mess. At this point in time, you can't convince me that there was actually a plan for 8 or 9 movies in this franchise, because the last movie was just a lazy rehash of the first film, and this movie spends two-thirds of its runtime not knowing what it's wanting to do until it decides to settle on a final act that's just a rehash of the giant water battle from the end of the second film. Fire into Ash has multiple storylines going on simultaneously, and the entire time it feels like this movie is struggling to find a balance that allows these storylines to have a natural flow to them, and instead it feels like it is constantly at war with itself. A good chunk of the film is exploring the themes of grief as we follow the Sully family, who is struggling with the loss of their eldest child. While this could have added some much needed heart to the franchise and given us something genuine and sincere, instead it lacks the necessary nuance to make this topic feel as impactful and powerful as it should have, and instead it feels painfully awkward to watch this movie as it struggles to navigate such a heavy topic. The Colonel plays a much bigger role in the story this time around, and his character arc actually had a lot of promise to it. It is some of the best stuff in this movie, but it never reaches its full potential. And anytime it feels like there's a genuine moment or an emotional story beat, it's quickly interrupted by a joke to break things up. This film feels like a bunch of ideas were thrown into a blender and then vomited onto a page. It had some interesting ideas, and yes, the visuals are pretty, but interesting ideas that are handled poorly don't make for an interesting movie. And at this point in time, I don't think the visuals are as impressive as they once were. I think this gimmick is wearing very thin, and I think there are PlayStation 5 games that have cinematics that look as good as this movie does.